In this video, I'm going to talk to you about 20 quick money tips that will completely change your life. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. Number one, pay yourself first. Simple as that. Save before you spend. Automate this. Find a way to do it that is going to do it without your thought process. Because what we'll tend to do is say, I won't save that 10% right now, but maybe at the end of my expenses, I'll see if I have some room for it. And what will happen is that you will spend it on stupid crap like food, junk, clothes, etc., etc. So find a way to automate that straight into your savings account from whatever your income is, whether that's a job, whether that's a business, whether that's a side hustle, whatever it is. Automate that crap right now before you do anything else. Pay yourself first. Number two, live below your means. Spend less than you make. Always. I understand that people have credit cards and stuff like that. If you don't have it in a bank account, don't put it on credit, right? Unless it's a car or it's a house, you know what I mean? Like, let's be real here. But like, if you can't afford something as simple as a backpack, I don't know, I'm just throwing stuff out there, $100 backpack at, Office Depot or wherever you get your backpacks from, don't put that on a credit card if you don't have the money already in your account. Does that make sense? Don't spend more than you make, right? Don't go over your expenses. The goal should be to live below what you're making currently. So I feel like I'm beating a dead horse at this point, right? Number three, stop trying to impress people. Wealthy people don't buy things to show off. They build assets. Stop buying anything that won't give you a return, right? Now, I'm not talking about clothes, like obviously look nice, that gives you a return, maybe not in the sense of money, but it gives you a return. When I say stop buying stuff and stop wasting your money on stuff, I'm talking about the stuff that you're not willing to, that's not an investment, whether that's in yourself or in your life or money or any type of form of fashion, right? So if you're not a gamer and you're not trying to become a gamer professionally, well, you probably shouldn't be trying to buy and play games. So that would be something that I would say, take off your list. That's not an asset. Now, if you're looking to go and become a gamer and start a YouTube channel and do the whole thing, by all means, go buy a gaming system so that way you can do what you're trying to do. That would be considered an asset for you, but a liability to most. Number four, money is a tool, not a god. Use it wisely, but don't let it control your identity. Right? Money is a tool. 1000%. It can be used for good. It can be used for bad. It can be used based on the person using it. Money is pretty much a direct reflection, or how you use money is a direct reflection of your inner character and who you really are and truly are. So if you get a bunch of money and all you do is spend it on food and all you do is spend it on, I don't know, the biggest TV, and you spend it on this and you spend it on that, what that shows is who you are at the root and at the core. And it shows that you're probably someone who's lazy, you're probably someone who's a glutton, you're probably someone who's this, going on and on, where there's some people who get money and they go start a business, or they go invest in themselves and get, do conferences or self-development books, or, this and that. So how you use your money is everything, but don't let your money become everything at the same time. Number five, track every dollar. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. One of the hardest things for most people, including myself at times, there's been times where I've been at this point, I'm like, I don't want to do that, is checking your bank account. Every morning when you wake up, you should check your bank account and see what is in there. Just look at it. Because what's going to happen if you don't is you're going to be like, whatever, I'll just spend it. It is what it is. But if you don't have the money, you go buy something you can't afford, well, then you're in a negative, and then that, so on and so forth. So find a way to track every single dollar that's going into your bank account and coming out of your bank account. Number six, cut up credit cards if they tempt you. If you can't handle your emotions and you can't stay emotionally mature enough to use your credit cards wisely, you need to get rid of them. They're only going to cause more harm than they are good. I remember one of my mentors about 10 years ago told me that because he couldn't handle his credit cards, he would go and he would go into like Office Depot, or I think it was Office Max or something like that, and he would get envelopes. And every month he would sit down, draw his expenses out, and he would put the money into the envelope that it went in, so he wouldn't overspend and do something stupid. You have to do whatever it takes to get where you want to go. And if that's cutting up your credit cards and getting envelopes to only buy what you can afford, you got to do what you got to do. Number 7, use a 24-hour rule before buying. Wait a day before any non-essential purchase. Most impulses will fade. 1000% true. A lot of times we're just in the moment. That's why you don't go to grocery stores when you're hungry. That's why you don't go to the dealership when you need a car. Because what will happen is that your impulses will take over your decision making, and you'll start doing stuff that you're not supposed to be doing, you probably shouldn't be doing, and that's when we make the worst decisions. Number 8, cancel unused subscriptions. Audit your accounts. Monthly leaks add up fast. 1000%. We have a zillion different subscription models nowadays, or just subscription things that we're using, whether that's Patreon, Netflix, Hulu, Disney, YouTube, I mean, you name it, you probably have it. You need to get rid of them now. I usually say keep one if you're gonna watch TV, but obviously don't be super extreme. You're like, I'm gonna delete everything in my freaking in my like, you don't have to do that. Find one that you actually watch and keep it. But chances are, if you're normal and you work at 8 to 5 and you have a normal life, you have friends, you have stuff that you're trying to get accomplished too, you're not gonna be watching 6 different TV programs, right? Pick one, keep it, delete the rest. Number 9, avoid lifestyle creep. Don't increase your spending every time your income increases. This one is huge, and I've fallen into this trap plenty of times. You make a little bit more money, so you add a little bit more. You feel like now you need that extra bedroom, you need that extra car, you need to make your car look a little bit nicer, you need to go get a little bit nicer clothes. The income increase, if you increase your expenses as your income increase, you're not making more money. Does that make sense? The money you actually make is the profit. That's the money that you actually make. So if you make $100,000, but you spend $110,000 a year, you actually make way less than you think you do. And you make less than the guy who actually only makes $40,000 an hour. I mean, $40,000 that'd be crazy. $40,000 a year, but only spends $30,000 a year. You are less off than he is, because it's about the profit, not about the income. Number 10, cook at home more often. Eating out is one of the fastest ways to waste money, especially in 2025, where every time you go out, it's $12 to $15. I don't think I need to go into that even more. That one kind of is especially if you're a single guy, single girl, like, you need to be cooking. You need to be cooking. Just stop going out. Unless you're making over $100,000 and you're spending, I'd say, less than half of that, you don't need to be eating out. Just move it away. Invest in high income skills, sales, marketing, coding, writing, speaking, etc. They pay for life. 1000%. These are also investments, right? Go figure out how to develop skills, and you're gonna have to spend money to do so. Sometimes, like, you might have to go buy a book. You can go online and see some stuff. You can go here on YouTube and see some stuff, right? But figure out a way to invest in these skills and get better at them, because they will make you more money. Ask for a raise or a promotion. Don't wait. So many people fall into this. Oh man, document your value and ask confidently. If you've worked at a company for a year, 2 years, 5 years, and you haven't asked for a raise, they're getting you at a discount. You need to ask for a raise. You need to figure out why you haven't gotten one and go get one. Highly recommend it. If you haven't got one and you're watching this video, pause this video, go into work tomorrow, because today's Tuesday, go into work tomorrow and ask for a raise. You need to do it. Number 13, start a side hustle. Use evenings or weekends to make extra money. 1000%. When I was growing up, I always heard from 8 to 5, you make a living. From 5 to 10, you make a life. And that right there is huge. what you do outside of work is creating a life that you'll live in the future, right? I know a lot of you guys are like, oh yeah, well, I want to get a promotion at my job. The job can literally disappear. Literally disappear. I've worked in recruiting for 9 years. That's been my background. That's been what I've done for my whole corporate career. And I've literally had to fire somebody because the company went out of business or got bought out by another company, or the role closes, the position closes. Jobs aren't meant for people. Jobs are meant to accomplish a task. They just use people to accomplish the task, but they're not needed necessarily. And so, like I said here, start a side hustle right now, because you don't know when that job will end, when that task will be done, or if that task will even continue. When you look at companies like, what's the name of that company? IBM, for example. I guarantee back when they first started and they were creating, what was it, meat clevers or meat slicers or something with food related. I'm pretty sure whoever was working there at that time probably aren't working there now. And they probably thought they were gonna have a long career, but obviously not. And so start a side hustle, whether that's YouTube. I mean, guys, there's so many different ways to start a side hustle nowadays. Number 14, sell stuff you don't use. Clutter turns into cash. Sorry, I don't know why I can't read my own freaking. Sell stuff that you don't use. Clutter turns into cash. Start with your closet or your garage. I mean, that's pretty simple. A lot of you guys have thousands of dollars sitting in a garage right now. Number 15, create digital products or services. Turn knowledge into passive income. Take the knowledge that you have, go to Canva, have YouTube open as well, and type in how to create a digital product. Create a digital product using Canva, sell it on your social media websites or whatever you're using for social media. If you don't have a social media, create one. We're in 2025. What the hell are you doing? Number 16, build an emergency fund. Start with $1,000 and aim for 3 to 6 months of expenses. 1,000%. Build an emergency fund. Start with $1,000. So right now, if you don't have $1,000 in an account, you need to start saving 10% of your income. Simple as that. If you don't have 10% of your income, you can't live on 10% of your income. You got to do one or two things. One, you need to stop spending so much money. You need to cut back on your expenses. Or two, if you don't make enough money to save that much money because you are capped out on your expenses and you're that guy who makes $100,000 but you spend $110,000, well, then you need to go make more money. Simple as that. If you can't cut back on expenses, you need to go make more money. How do you make more money? In the other ways that I just told you. And then once you get to $1,000, keep going until you get to 3 to 6 months of expenses in the bank. Number 17, invest early and consistently. Start now, even if it's just $50. A lot of you guys, a lot of people out here, they'll do the S&P 500 or like they'll do different, things like that. In my opinion, I think that's a good idea. However, I do think that if you go and study it, you can learn about other programs that you can do. It's like the fact that NVIDIA is a great company to invest in, right? If you invest in NVIDIA over the last 10 years, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you don't know anything about investing, you don't know why you should invest in NVIDIA. So don't just go invest money consistently. Also go figure out why to invest, how investing works, and go do your research on that. Number 18, use a Roth IRA or 401k, tax-free growth to go more money later. Kind of just went into that a little bit, so I'll just kind of, stay consistent. Number 19, learn the basics of investing, understand how the stock market works, real estate and index funds, right? Kind of goes the same thing. Number 20, avoid get rich quick schemes. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. Totally agree. If you have to spend money in a get rich quick scheme, be more wary than if you don't have to spend money to get into the get rich quick scheme, right? Now, obviously you don't want to be into a get rich quick scheme regardless of the way, but everything also isn't a get rich quick scheme. Just because it's not a job, it doesn't mean it's a scheme, right? You got to be able to use your brain and do your own research and understand how things work and be a thinker. That's like the most key part. I remember when I did network marketing and I did that for 6.5 years. And the biggest thing you hear in network marketing is, oh, that's one of those like get rich quick schemes, pyramid schemes, this and that. And it's typically just a bunch of people who are ignorant to the idea of network marketing. They hear a thing and they run with it, right? So don't be one of those people. Don't avoid all business opportunities and plans because you think everything is a pyramid scheme. Just because you think everything is a pyramid scheme doesn't actually mean that everything is a pyramid scheme or a scheme in general. So also, with number 20, yes, if it is too good to be true, it probably is, but also understand why and how things are actually a pyramid scheme or a scheme in general. So with that, those are my 20 quick tips on how to change your life with money, with your finances, with all that stuff. I hope this helps. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.